What's up, family? This is Kevin Orosz. In this video, I want to talk about some reflections, some things I'm noticing about the election and how primate politics and polarity are playing out, how doublethink and mind control is running rampant in our communities. And I haven't done a video in a long time. I've been staying in my lane and writing, sharing more indirectly. But I've been feeling called to get back on camera, get back in here and really share some of the things I'm noticing for those of you that want to receive it. And of course, take it with your 0.2 Bitcoin, my 2 cents. And yeah, that's what's alive for me. So I want to speak into the positive and negative aspects of this election, right? This election season and this world we're in of censorship and social media politics and polarity and the infighting that really saddens my heart to see in our communities. People, friends, allies that I've noticed and seen come from such integral and sovereign places turn into complete parrots and puppets for these games being played out right now. And I want to start with the positive, the good news first. You know, when I see somebody really passionate and posting, maybe angrily or with emotion about politics, like Biden is the best, here's why. Trump is actually the choice, here's why. And attacking or trying to fight and convince, right? Argue. What I really feel underneath it, underneath all the bullshit, is that this person really cares about the world. So this is a positive aspect of it. This person cares about the world. They care so much that they've chosen this champion. They've picked this parental figure who's going to fix what's wrong with the world. And so in their own indirect way, their own roundabout way, they're trying to help the planet and get this message out there by getting on a bandwagon in politics. So there is a positive function underneath there somewhere. And I would challenge or invite all of you to see that in the friends and family you have that maybe you don't agree with, who are really politically active, and actually notice that, hey, this person's really trying to love and step into a new level with their participation in the world, and the election is a vehicle for that. So in that way, it's positive. A lot more people, I feel like, during election years are like, let's get involved. Let's change things for the better. And I assume everyone wants things to get better. You know, nihilists and anarchists aside, most people want the world to get better. Most people, most places are wishing and praying and acting in the direction of a positive future. So that's good. Kudos to you if you are feeling that energy. Now, on the negative side, do you really believe that you will change anyone's mind to come to your side or your party or your polarity by shaming, attacking, guilting, or judging them? Has that ever worked even one time? I really want to ask you this question. Has that ever worked? Has anyone ever been shamed or attacked via politics or any kind of partisan, polarized topic? Have they ever just been like, you know what? You're right, I am an asshole. Maybe I won't vote for Trump. Or you know what? You're right. I am mind controlled and a sheeple. I'm not going to vote for Biden. Has this ever actually worked for you? I would advance it's worked exactly this many times. Zero. So why are people still trying to change each other's minds with this violent, I call it ape politics or primate politics? Do you think by throwing poo at each other and doing a shouting match in comment sections on social media, you're going to change anyone's mind? So then it begs the question, why do people do it? Well, I have lots of theories, maybe to alleviate anxiety, to create certainty in an uncertain world, because they feel belonging. A lot of people feel belonging when they're part of a political movement, and they can choose sides. It's like voting for the sports team. I want the Lakers to win. No, I want the Cavaliers to win. Well, you're wrong because you're a Laker. Well, I'm better because you're voting for the wrong team, right? This is an old game that's being played. It was perfected way back in the Roman Empire. It was perfected way back before that in Assyria and Babylon. And the game is very simple. It's classic divide and conquer, right? So if you can get people to get caught up in games, right? You get caught up either in entertainment games, the circus. This is why in Susan Collins' books, The Hunger Games, it's panem, right? Panem et circusus. Give them bread and circuses. Numb them with shitty food and poison, and give them circuses, and politics is a circus, to catch up their energy, to catch it and capture it, so they don't work on what's actually important. So that all being said, I want everyone to go out and find the book 1984 by George Orwell. This man, writing before World War II and during World War II, saw all of the things that are happening now. And he saw it then, and it's recapitulated now 100 years later. And one of the big concepts in that book is doublethink. So what is doublethink? Doublethink is that on one side, I know that these politicians, although they're posturing to be positive change agents and paradigm shifters, they're good, right? They're good for me. That's one side of the thinking. And at the very same time, the opposite feeling or notion is existing in there, often unconscious. Actually, no matter who's been elected historically, it's been business as usual. War, bullets, bandages, and profit. It's the same old story. And many people, even though they're aware of this, maybe barely on a subconscious level, are still playing into this game. This is why doublethink is so dangerous. I'm voting for peace and love, but I support war and destruction. Both exist at the same time. Both are extremely contradictory. So then we enter something called cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is, I don't feel safe. Please don't tell me that what I'm working towards or what I'm voting on is actually the opposite of what I actually want. I can't deal with that anxiety. I can't deal with that level of confusion in myself. So I'm going to block it out and just do the one thing. And I want to advance to you that doublethink is running rampant on our world right now. COVID-wise, politically-wise, it is a fucking nightmare out there of friends, family, loved ones that we know who are caught up in doublethink. So this is something to be aware of. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Take this with a grain of salt and see where you land in this. I want you to form your own opinions with this. I'm not trying to tell you how to think. It's a mind control technique. The word government, from Latin and Greek, governmente, to control, govern, gobern, mente, the mind. The very word government is about mind control. It's about controlling the minds of the masses. And you can see this play out. Go watch any number of news footage or videos or YouTube mashups where the same news channels, the same anchors, the same pundits, the same elected officials are repeating the same phrases. They're using the same tonality. They're using the same tactics to govern minds, to mind control. It's very simple. It's very nefarious. It's very curious why this is. Why are they saying the same things? Why are the sides picking these party lines and playing them out ad nauseum? You would think that at this point in 2020, just logically, rationally, that maybe we'd have some new iterations. We'd have new examples of elected officials that would change things up. And we might be like, wow, this is something really new. I'm really noticing that this is progressive, and I want things to actually change on the planet. Because we all know, looking at the environment, looking at the economy, looking at the relations between men and women, looking at the relations between colonizers and indigenous, there's a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of issues to solve. And we got to pull together to do it. It's very clear that no individual or one corporation or one group is going to be able to handle the massive issues we're facing this century. And at the same time, in the very same breath, the primate politics go on. It's hijacking the limbic system. It's hijacking emotion. It's not consciously based on forward progress, helping each individual human. It's based around whose team is going to win. And I see people who are self-proclaimed shadow workers, yogis, coaches, healers, leaders, influencers, businessmen and women, who are just playing right into this without even blinking. and seemingly without self-reflection. And as a philosopher, as someone who is thinking deeply about this and trying to understand how this could be, and self-reflecting on myself, trying to understand myself and therefore others, we have a big problem. Houston, we have a big problem. What is going on this year? Why is there a massive transfer of wealth? Why has a pandemic been used to leverage emotional politics and race wars and huge transfers of money and huge scandals around hidden agendas and documents that are coming to light? Darkness coming to light. We're in a revelation period on the planet. The darkness is coming to the light for everyone to see. It's not new. It's always been there. It's just now there's awareness around it. So this is a clarion call to you to think for yourself, to question why people are doing what they're doing. If you're part of the herd and you're going in a direction with the group and you feel uncomfortable in your gut that something's off, this is your invitation to listen to that and honor that. For too long, we have been led by tyrants and men and women who don't give a fuck about the people. And if you don't believe me, I invite you to study history. Study the history of this year. Study the history of this country. Study the history of the world and of civilization. And it's very clear. The writing's on the wall. None of what I'm saying is new, or I didn't have to come to any crazy conclusions. This is very simple stuff. So if you're benefiting from this video, I want to invite you to share it out with your tribe, or even tag someone that could benefit from this. And my commitment is to start sharing more and getting on camera more. I'm really feeling like I'm ready to return to the front here on the social media while it's still a free thinking enterprise, while censorship isn't yet taken over, and to get these messages out, because Homo sapiens, we got a big fight ahead of us, and we need everybody, all hands on deck.